Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who tune into these videos. So I just wanted to come in with a quick lesson, speaking about Thanksgiving. So like the spirit is like a milk lesson. So you can get refreshed in the precepts that go along with this wicked holiday that the world celebrates, and they call it Thanksgiving. But like if you look at the news and just media in general, pretty much people already understand what Thanksgiving is about. Is that Esau came over here, and he pretty much slayed, robbed, and raped pretty much the indigenous people that were over here already during the 14th and 15th century. But then this devil, he's gonna pretty much have a like a propaganda to make you think that this guy was a good person, that he came here with some turkeys and some corn or whatever, and they all had a big feast. But once you come into this ministry, we start getting into not only the spiritual lessons, but we go down to the historical doctrines and the documentation that this devil was doing. And specifically speaking, of this lesson revolving around Thanksgiving. I believe I did a video last year about this. I remember seeing an episode of The Sopranos, and you could search this on YouTube too, where it's basically like the episode starts off where like these Italian mobsters or whatever, they're outside enjoying some tea or coffee or whatever, and then in the newspaper, one of them reads that pretty much that Christopher Columbus, who's a so-called Italian person, by because that's where he was born at, that's his nationality. But not his biblical nationality. Christopher Columbus goes back to the line of Esau, Edom. But in the TV show, they were reading how they were pretty much, putting out that shameful spewing that this devil was really about. And then it rubbed a lot of those mobster Italians the wrong way, because they're pretty much they don't understand really what's going on. But then one of the characters, like he was from the southern part of Italy. And he was pretty much telling it like it is, that Christopher Columbus was part of the northern part of Italy, and he's pretty much I forgot how he said it, but I recommend watching that clip, because it's that shameful spewing, that a lot of these people are pretty much detaching away from Thanksgiving, but even though all this news is out, this media, this knowledge of what this devil really did, 4,000 years ago, families, so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are still going to celebrate this holiday, this holiday, where they're just gonna get together. It's just an excuse, to eat together, but really they're celebrating the downfall of their nation. When the so-called Native Americans, who are of the northern tribe of Israel, they got put into subjection. And I'm not lying, because this is actual like historical documented fact, that I'm saying. But people pretty much, they're gonna celebrate this high holy day, in Babylon. And then if you go into the word holy, it means separate, because this holiday is separate from all the other days. It's pretty much an excuse that everyone can get together, so they can feast upon the deaths of their fellow ancestors, pretty much. But see, what we understand in this ministry is that was to happen, pursuant to the prophecies in the book of Revelation. I believe in verse chapter 20, where it speaks about how this devil, he came out of the prison for 1,000 years, so he could put hell throughout the world and subjugate the nation to Israel, because there still had to have been a falling away. So we know all of this has to pertain to the scriptures. And then I was already watching brothers speak up on this topic. All these other ministries and people, even though all this information is out, you got Christopher Columbus's diary, that's out on the internet. Yeah, people in the churches, like Vocab Malone specifically, they're not going to say anything ill about it. They're not going to bring up how this is something that's actually pertaining to the scriptures. It's if you speak about this and you bring out the wickedness, the shameful spewing, you're really speaking in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, because his ministry is about prophecy and bringing out this devil's wicked crime in his history. That's the prophecy and what this ministry is about. So I'm gonna read this first precept here. because this devil, he will have you believe that, like I said, he came here and he was nice, but ultimately he had the scriptures in his hand, and then he did everything opposite towards it. Like if you were to, like follow this one right here that's written in Numbers 35 and 33, he didn't follow it, but pretty much what he follows is the last part of it, which is as a prophetic thing that he's gonna have to go through. But so it says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So this is basically, this is the Thanksgiving precept to me. It makes me think, because this devil really came here to the Taino Islands, to the South American islands. That's where he originally landed. Then he got word of all these places where this is where the Northern Kingdom was at, of the nation of Israel. And so he went back, and he got more funding. They got more ships, and they started. Esau pretty much started coming over here to the northern part of America. And he pretty much slewed and killed. And you can see it still. This wasn't just a thing that happened one summer of the 14th or 15th century. This was perpetuated throughout the generation of Esau ruling, up until today. Well, but by he's not really forcing anybody, but through the Spirit, he put that vibration out there to celebrate the day that he slaughtered the Native American people. Because people pretty much are just mindless zombies. They're all gonna go buy a turkey or whatever in honor of this bloody holiday. But pretty much, like it says in the last part here, it says that the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So this blood, this devil, he's got a lot of blood. He's a bloody man. He's got a lot to pay for. And because I was saying, it wasn't just in the 14th century. It's to this day, pretty much. Like specifically in California during the 18th century, during the gold rush, they wrote down these vagrancy laws, which pretty much meant if they saw a Native American person from this side of the Americas and he was being vagrant, he wasn't doing anything, then they were allowed, to pretty much do whatever. And Esau, you give him a blank check, he's gonna do whatever. So this devil, he's got a lot to pay for. That's why all throughout the scriptures it says that once Yahushua comes, and he sets everything in order, and the standard is lifted, that this devil is going to be put into captivity, and then pretty soon, well, not pretty soon, within 1,000 years, he's going to be exterminated. Because he's literally, the devil. His spirit is not upright. He's a bloody man, and he has to pay for the things that he's done in his past life. But see, that's the things that these Christian churches or whatever, these talking heads who always go against the so-called Black Hebrew Israelites, they don't want to bring this up. Pretty much, they don't have the spirit of prophecy. Because the spirit of prophecy is, the spirit of Yahushua, and when in the spirit of Yahushua is saying what he's going to do, is he's going to come down here and render unto them double. It's like it says in Revelation 13, I think in 10, it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth by the sword must be killed by the sword. Here's the patience of the faith of the saints. So the saints are the 144,000 who have this song. So if you're not piping to this song, then get your act right, because you ain't singing the song that you're supposed to be singing. The patience and the faith of the saints is the people who have slaughtered the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, that they're gonna get what's coming to them. So I got this in Nahum 3, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. The noise of a whip, and the noise of a rattling of the wheels, and of the prancing horses, and of the jumping chariots. The horseman lifteth up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. Because you have to remember that Esau, he pretty much wiped out the Taino nation. Ultimately he couldn't 100% kill off one of the Lord's nations, but he was pretty much damn near close to it. That's why you got this saying in the world that people, bug outs will say that the Native Americans are done away with. The remnants that we have aren't really the original ones. But like that's just a person in the world thinking, because ultimately everyone knows what went down 400 years ago when this devil set foot on this land. He was pretty much slaying and killing and robbing. And that's why it says here in Nahum 3, it says, "Woe to the bloody city," because this city is bloody. It's full of lies and robbery, and it's got a lot of judgment to pay for. All right, so I want to read this also in 2nd Ezra 6, and I'm going to start at verse 18. It says, "And it said, Behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh, and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled." So this goes back to that thing I was just saying. If you're not singing this tune, of this devil, getting led into captivity, for doing such thing, shedding the blood of the people who live in this land. Only way you could redeem that is by shedding the blood of him that shed that blood. So if you're not seeing that, then you're pretty much, you got a doctrine of the devil, because this is coming out of the scriptures right here. It says that, and it said, "Behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth." It makes me think of in 2nd Peter is that, Yahweh Shai, he's going to come back, like a thief in the night, with those thermonuclear missiles too, because that's how bloody this devil is. That 200 million nuclear missiles are required, to judge him. All right, so I just got a few more precepts. And this is Zephaniah 3, verse 18. It says, "I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflicted thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gathereth her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame." And this is pretty much speaking about, how even though Yahweh Shai is going to come, like a travailing woman and slaughtering, like it says in Isaiah 63, he's also going to deliver the 144,000 elect, the saints, who are singing this song, the ones that have that thawa, that mark of exemption from all the abominations down here. He's going to put us, and he's going to set us up and make us a praise and fame in every land that we're at. And that just goes to show you that this hasn't been fulfilled yet. Because those people over there in the land right now, those rats, it's nothing but shame and disgust around the world. Because at the end of this day, this devil, he's still Esau. You can't hide his horns. You can't clip his tail. Because the spirit is not upright in him. Pretty much everyone wants this guy out of the way. The only person who's going to be able to do that is Yahweh Shai and the 144,000 elect when they receive those bodies. And we're going to judge the earth. All right, so verse 20 says, "At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and praise among all people of the earth. And when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord." So speaking about, how we're in a low state right now. We have the want of our of everything. We have to go to our enemies. The curses that are spoken about in Deuteronomy are on us, and the only way that comes off of us is when Yahweh Shai comes, and he blesses us, with a deliverance, and those spiritual powers, the heart of flesh, the laws written in our inward parts, But until then, we have to patiently wait and prophesy for that time to come, because we can't just do this on our own. We still pretty much have to speak about Thanksgiving. Like last year, I made a lesson, and the year before that, I made a lesson, and it goes the same for most of the brothers in Great Millstone. Every high holy, or it's like every high hellish holiday, these separate days that this devil props up that everyone celebrates, through the Spirit. We rehearse these scriptures, and we go back to them. Like we go back to the milk, get the understanding, and rehearse these righteous acts and speak against it, because it may be one more Thanksgiving, Lord's will, but until then, we're gonna keep doing these videos. We're gonna keep chanting down Babylon, because we know that this ain't gonna be forever, because the wicked who did all these things, Christopher Columbus in the 14th century. And then also he, let's not forget what he did on the west side of Africa, because after he came back from the Puerto Rico, he came back to Europe, and then he pretty much got word to all the other Edomites, and they went to West Africa and got the southern kingdom of the nation of Israel. And that's pretty much, that was, the 15th century on forward, to this day. Even though he wrote these bills, that he says we're so-called free, we're not sovereign. We can't really practice what we believe in, and ultimately, he's always going to be the authoritative figure, because we'll say something and he'll say, no, you guys are not the real Jews, you guys are black or whatever, so until then we're not free from this devil. But so this is Job 21 verse 29. It says, have ye not asked them that go by the way, and do ye not know their tokens, that the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction, they shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. Who shall declare his ways to his face, and who shall repay him what he hath done? So we're declaring it to his face, and the one that's going to repay him for what he's done is going to be Yahushai, and then and then the 144 elect that are going to come with him. So until then, we're going to continue to preach and prophesy, and break down these precepts and show you that this devil, he's literally the devil that the Bible speaks of, and he can't get away from it. So that's the end of this video. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Shalom Akim.